Since becoming queen on February 6, 1952, Queen Elizabeth II has had numerous encounters with celebrities from all walks of life and from around the world. For the most part, the Queen has come off as not merely polite, but also friendly and welcoming. However, there have been times when the Queen's demeanor or words have suggested that she isn't exactly enjoying an interaction or that she finds a particular celebrity annoying. Here, we'll take a look at some of the celebrities who have left such an impression on Queen Elizabeth. Diana, Princess of Wales. The tragic death of Diana, Princess of Wales, on August 31, 1997, in a car crash in Paris, sent shockwaves around the world, and in the days following the incident, Queen Elizabeth's reaction came under scrutiny. The Queen chose to remain at Balmoral with her grandsons, keeping a low profile and not engaging with the media. This reticence led to criticism from some quarters, with speculation that it was driven by years of tension stemming from Diana's troubled marriage to Prince Charles and her candid discussions with journalists like Martin Bashir. Ingrid Seward, author of The Queen and Di, offers a different perspective, suggesting that the Queen's silence was primarily a reflection of her deep grief at the loss of Diana. It was more about mourning than any lingering resentment towards her former daughter-in-law. In fact, Queen Elizabeth had a degree of sympathy and personal fondness for Diana, according to royal author Matthew Dennison. However, this doesn't imply that the Queen never found Diana's behavior at least somewhat annoying or perplexing. Seward's account reveals that Diana would frequently visit the Queen, often in tears, and over time these meetings became something the Queen came to dread. Dennison, on the other hand, suggests that the Queen may have struggled to comprehend why Diana sometimes acted in ways that seemed to jeopardize the monarchy, considering the institution she had married into. Jackie Kennedy. While The Crown offers a dramatized portrayal of events, one memorable episode features Queen Elizabeth hosting Mr. and Mrs. John F. Kennedy for dinner at Buckingham Palace. In the show, it's depicted that the First Lady, Jackie Kennedy, found the Queen incurious, unintelligent, and unremarkable, and she deemed the palace second-rate, dilapidated, and sad. However, it's important to remember that The Crown is a work of fact-based fiction, and while such interactions might make for intriguing television, they may not necessarily reflect reality. In reality, there is no concrete evidence to suggest that Jackie Kennedy had such negative impressions of Queen Elizabeth. It's plausible that Her Majesty may have had her own reasons for finding the American celebrity potentially annoying, but they might not be as sensational as depicted on the screen. According to author Sarah Bradford's biography of Jackie Kennedy, titled America's Queen, there were complexities surrounding the dinner. The Queen had faced pressure to extend the invitation to Mrs. Kennedy's sister, Lee Radziwill, despite her reservations due to Radziwill's divorced status. However, according to a story relayed by Jackie's friend, writer Gore Vidal, the Queen had her own way of addressing this situation. She chose not to invite two individuals specifically requested by Mrs. Kennedy for the dinner, Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark, and the Queen's sister, Princess Margaret. While the exact dynamics of that dinner remain speculative, it's clear that the real-life interactions may have been more nuanced than portrayed in the television series. Vladimir Putin. Queen Elizabeth II's role as the head of state in the UK's constitutional monarchy requires strict political neutrality, with the monarch neither voting nor participating in elections. However, an interesting anecdote from 2003 suggests that even the Queen had her moments of personal reactions to world leaders. During Russian President Vladimir Putin's historic visit to the UK in 2003, Lord David Blunkett, who was the UK Home Secretary at the time and visually impaired, had an amusing encounter involving his guide dog, Sadie. According to Blunkett's recollection during a 2019 BBC program, Sadie reacted to meeting President Putin by barking loudly, and Blunkett felt the need to apologize to the Queen for the disruption. In response, the Queen offered a rather cryptic comment, remarking, "Dogs have interesting instincts, don't they?" This anecdote provides a glimpse into a lighter moment involving the Queen's interaction with a world leader, showcasing her sense of humor and diplomacy even in situations where political neutrality is paramount. The specific source of any potential annoyance with President Putin remains unknown. Meghan Markle. The relationship between Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and her granddaughter-in-law, Meghan Markle, has been marked by tension and controversies. Meghan, married to Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, has retained her title of Duchess of Sussex, despite stepping back from royal family duties and moving to the U.S. One notable aspect that might have caused some discomfort for the Queen is Meghan's apparent interest in politics, which conflicts with the monarch's requirement to remain politically neutral. In October 2021, Meghan made headlines for writing to U.S. Senate leaders Charles Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, urging them to pass legislation mandating paid leave for working parents during the pandemic. This direct involvement in political matters raised concerns among royal supporters, leading to calls for her to be stripped of her title. Whether Queen Elizabeth II will take any action in this regard remains uncertain. However, the tensions between the Queen and Meghan extend beyond political involvement. Meghan has publicly accused the royal family of racism and has spoken about the challenges she faced within the royal family and from the press, which contributed to her struggles with mental health. On the other side, the Queen has expressed sadness over her limited connection with her great-grandson Archie and presumably her newborn great-granddaughter Lilibet, as noted by royal expert Ingrid Seward. These various factors have undoubtedly contributed to a strained relationship between the two. Donald Trump. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has a unique reason for being found annoying by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This reason happens to be a personal one, related to an incident during his June 2019 visit with the Queen in connection with D-Day commemorations. During this visit, President Trump did permanent damage to one of the Queen's prized possessions, the Buckingham Palace lawn. The issue arose when President Trump insisted on flying into Buckingham Palace by helicopter, not just once but twice in a single day. The problem was that the palace lawn was not designed to serve as a helicopter landing pad. As a result, the helicopter's landings left behind scorch marks and craters in the grass, significantly damaging the pristine lawn. The damage caused by Trump's helicopter became a topic of conversation during another royal visit. When Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison visited the Queen in connection with D-Day, Her Majesty took him into the gardens to show him the effects of Trump's helicopter landings. She reportedly expressed her frustration, saying, "Come and look at my lawn. It's ruined." This incident was not the first time the Queen had voiced her displeasure over Trump's helicopter usage. A year earlier, in the documentary Queen's Green Planet, the Queen was captured on film joking with Sir David Attenborough about how the sound of a noisy aircraft reminded her of Trump's visit. Mick Jagger. In 2003, the iconic frontman of the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger, was knighted and became Sir Michael Philip Jagger. This honor came after then Prime Minister Tony Blair nominated Jagger for knighthood, while it was widely reported that Queen Elizabeth II herself bestowed this high honor upon Jagger during her birthday celebration in June. There's an interesting twist to the story. The Queen was not actually present at the knighting ceremony. Instead, she was at the hospital, undergoing knee surgery. Some suggest that the Queen deliberately scheduled her surgery for that date to provide herself with a convenient excuse for her absence. It turns out that Queen Elizabeth II had several reasons to be opposed to Jagger's knighthood, which was endorsed by Blair, a self-proclaimed fan of Jagger and the Rolling Stones. Among her concerns was Jagger's perceived lack of involvement in charitable causes, despite his substantial personal wealth, his residence abroad since the early 1970s, his 7 children from 4 different women, and his outspoken criticism of the Queen and the monarchy in general. Jagger allegedly referred to the Queen as the chief witch and was known for his anti-monarchist views. However, one of the most intriguing aspects of Queen Elizabeth II's disapproval of Jagger may have been his scandalous relationship with her younger sister, Princess Margaret. This unconventional connection could have played a significant role in the Queen's reluctance to embrace Jagger's knighthood, making it a fascinating chapter in royal history. Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, is renowned for her commitment to remaining neutral on political matters, adhering to the constitutional requirements of the British monarchy. However, it seems that during the 11-year tenure of the late Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, the Queen may have encountered challenges in maintaining this neutrality. According to a report by the Sunday Times, the Queen was purportedly dismayed by many policies of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Nevertheless, the Queen's feelings toward Thatcher, who served as Prime Minister from 1979 to 1990, were complex, extending beyond their differences in political views to encompass personal tensions that arose during their regular meetings to discuss governmental matters. These scheduled meetings, often marked by Thatcher's punctuality and the Queen's occasional tardiness, were reportedly rarely productive. Thatcher is said to have found the Queen's presence unsettling, contributing to the strained atmosphere. Additionally, their differing senses of humor posed another challenge, as the Queen was known for her dry wit, while Thatcher was characterized as having limited humor. Furthermore, Thatcher's propensity to engage in lengthy discussions during their meetings did not align with the Queen's preferences. In the 2015 documentary, The Queen and Mrs. Thatcher: An Inconvenient Relationship, it was even suggested that the Queen occasionally poked fun at Thatcher's accent. This intriguing dynamic sheds light on the complexities of the relationship between the monarch and the formidable Prime Minister. Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York. In July 1986, Prince Andrew, the second-born son of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, embarked on a joyous journey into wedlock with Sarah Ferguson, affectionately known as Fergie. Their grand wedding ceremony at Westminster Abbey was a notable event, and in the year following their nuptials, Vanity Fair reported that the spirited Duchess of York had successfully charmed the Queen. A close bond seemed to have blossomed between the Queen and Fergie during this period. However, this bond began to erode when, in 1992, the Yorks publicly announced their separation. The Queen's reaction to the marriage's dissolution was a mix of sadness and frustration, as she was not only disheartened by the union's end, but also perturbed by Fergie's handling of the situation, as revealed in the 2019 documentary Royals at War. Yet this marked just the inception of a tumultuous period. Within a few months, intimate photographs surfaced, indicating Fergie's romantic involvement with an American businessman. Even more shocking, these photographs depicted the businessman in a compromising position, seemingly sucking on Fergie's toes, right in front of their then 4-year-old daughter, Princess Beatrice. This scandalous revelation left not only the general public but also members of the royal family, including the Queen, appalled. The Queen's reaction to the photographs was reportedly one of intense fury. She swiftly demanded Fergie's immediate departure from the royal family's residence in Balmoral. The Queen's deep-seated dismay and annoyance with Fergie persisted for years, at least until 2013. However, the question that lingers is whether their relationship has seen any reconciliation in the wake of Prince Andrew's resignation from the royal family. The ongoing dynamics within the royal family remain a subject of intrigue and speculation. Camilla Parker Bowles, Duchess of Cornwall. When Prince Charles, Duke of Cornwall, embarked on his journey to wed his longtime love, Camilla Parker Bowles, in 2005, one conspicuous absence at the wedding was that of his mother, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The official reason presented for the Queen's non-attendance was her commitment to the tenets of the Church of England. As journalist Andrew Alderson noted in The Telegraph in 2005, Queen Elizabeth II made it known that her absence was driven by her prioritization of her duties as the head of the Church of England over family considerations. Specifically, the Queen believed that her position as the head of the Church of England prevented her from participating in a wedding between two divorcees, whose extramarital affair had played a significant role in the dissolution of their previous marriages. However, a 2018 biography of Prince Charles by Tom Bower, titled Rebel Prince: The Power and Passion and Defiance of Prince Charles, offers a different perspective. While acknowledging the legitimacy of the Queen's religious concerns, Bower suggests that the Queen's true issue might have been her personal reservations about Camilla herself, as well as the couple's extramarital relationship. According to Bower, one evening, after a few martinis, the Queen candidly conveyed to Charles her firm stance that she could never forgive Camilla for her involvement in Charles's previous marriage, even going so far as to describe Camilla as wicked. Nevertheless, over time, the Queen appears to have softened her stance on Camilla and her marriage to Prince Charles. Boris Yeltsin. Boris Yeltsin, the inaugural president of Russia who served from 1991 to 1999, visited London in 1992, marking a brief 8-year period within Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's nearly 7-decade reign. During his visit, Yeltsin's behavior raised eyebrows, as revealed in previously classified government documents from the 1980s and 1990s. Specifically, on 2 separate occasions, Yeltsin was observed attempting to grasp the Queen's arm, while on another occasion, he made an ill-advised attempt to encircle the Queen's waist. In the United Kingdom, politicians and citizens alike began expressing heartfelt well wishes for the royal family, fully aware of the gravity of the situation. The royal family members were hastily summoned to Balmoral Castle, where Queen Elizabeth II was in residence at the time. The hours between 1 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. bore witness to an intimate gathering of her closest family members. Among those present was Princess Anne, who later paid a touching tribute to her mother on Instagram. She revealed that she had spent the Queen's last day in her company and expressed her unwavering support for her brother's upcoming royal responsibilities. As the day wore on, King Charles, Prince William, and Prince Harry also made their way to the Queen's estate to be with her in her final moments. At 6:30 p.m., Buckingham Palace made the heart-wrenching announcement that Queen Elizabeth II had passed away peacefully. The news reverberated through living rooms around the world, leaving a collective sense of mourning and reflection. Within just 10 minutes, an official announcement was placed on the gates of the palace, taking many by surprise, especially those who had arrived at the palace in the wake of the earlier health concerns that had been disclosed. In the wake of the Queen's passing, tributes poured in from leaders of nations worldwide, underscoring the profound impact of her reign on the global stage. Leaders, ranging from Emmanuel Macron to Vladimir Putin, conveyed their condolences and acknowledged the significance of the Queen's legacy. The world had lost a figurehead who had been a constant presence throughout their lives, leaving a void that would be deeply felt. Her legacy is one that will continue to shape the British monarchy and resonate across the world. As we remember the final chapter of this extraordinary reign, we invite you to share your thoughts on the profound impact of Queen Elizabeth II's life and reign. What are your fondest memories of her reign, and how do you believe she will be remembered in the annals of history? Stay connected with us for more captivating insights into the life and times of remarkable figures like Queen Elizabeth II. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to show your support. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. In a calculated move to regain control of the situation, Anthony devised a strategy to intervene. He intercepted a letter that Robin had written to Margaret, exposing the intimate nature of their relationship, and promptly presented it to the Queen Mother. Anthony then demanded that Margaret sever all ties with Robin. This maneuver not only rid him of what he perceived as an annoyance, but also cleverly shifted the blame for the deteriorating state of their marriage onto Margaret herself. By doing so, he sought to secure more freedom for his burgeoning career and future affairs. It was a move worthy of a chess grandmaster, and the ensuing drama rivaled that of a Shakespearean play. Ultimately, Princess Margaret yielded to Anthony's demands and put an end to her relationship with Robin Douglas Home. While their affair had been brief, its consequences would prove to be unsettling. Tragically, Robin Douglas Home took his own life just 18 months later, at the tender age of 36. One might have expected this tragic turn of events to serve as a wake-up call for Anthony or Margaret, prompting them to realize the depths to which their behavior had plunged. However, the reality was quite the opposite. This unfortunate incident marked the inception of years characterized by infidelity between them, and their relationship grew increasingly bitter. Anthony, in particular, resorted to juvenile methods to convey his displeasure with Margaret. He compiled a list of grievances within a book, intended for her discovery, in which he hurled hurtful and derogatory remarks. One such comment read, "You look like a Jewish manicurist and I hate you." On other occasions, his actions were even more direct and confrontational, with Anthony rudely interrupting her at social gatherings with dismissive comments like, "Shut up and let someone intelligent talk." Their conduct created an uncomfortable atmosphere for those in their vicinity. And while Anthony seemed impervious to the tension, Margaret found herself in a state of profound unhappiness. In mid-October 2021, just over a week before Queen Elizabeth II announced her decision not to attend the COP26 climate conference in Glasgow, there was an incident that caught Her Majesty expressing what seemed to be annoyance at some world leaders who had not yet confirmed their attendance at the conference. This moment occurred on October 15th during the Queen's visit to Cardiff, Wales, where she was opening the Welsh Parliament. What makes this situation intriguing is that the Queen's candid remarks were captured on film, apparently without her knowledge. While speaking with her daughter-in-law, Camilla Parker Bowles, the Duchess of Cornwall, and Elin Jones, the presiding officer of the Welsh Parliament, Queen Elizabeth II, made a comment about the COP26 conference. Although parts of the conversation were inaudible, the Queen's frustration was evident as she remarked, "I've been hearing all about COP," and continued with the statement, "I still don't know who's coming." It was during this conversation that she used the word irritating in the context of world leaders talking but not doing. The Queen did not mention specific leaders by name, but there was speculation that she might have been referring to Chinese President Xi Jinping, among others. Buckingham Palace declined to comment on the incident, but Transport Secretary Grant Shapps acknowledged that the Queen's remarks were not intended for broadcast, adding a layer of intrigue to the situation. We hope you enjoyed this glimpse into the Queen's interactions with celebrities who have left an impression, whether favorable or not. Did any of these individuals surprise you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below to let us know. If you want to explore more intriguing stories about Her Majesty's life and the fascinating world of royalty, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.